Mike is a single dad with a 9-year-old daughter, Jennifer. It has gotten harder playing the roles of both dad and mom to Jennifer as she gets older. Mike is wishing there were more influential women in Jennifer's life. Mike has no real history with church, but sees it as a generic sort of answer for people who can't handle their own problems. For now, Mike has chosen to say no to God and no to church. Mike's daughter Jennifer has told her dad she wants to play basketball. Jennifer has never played before, so Mike is a little cautious about the idea. Jennifer has several friends who play, and she thinks it would be fun. A few things important to Jennifer are getting to play and not sit on the bench, learning the sport of basketball, and spending time with her friends. A few things important to Mike are a family-friendly schedule. He doesn't want this to take over their lives, a low-pressure environment to see if Jennifer really likes basketball, and a coach who won't yell at his daughter. One afternoon, while working out in the yard, Mike sees a yard sign in his neighbor Ken's yard advertising an Upward basketball league. When Ken comes out to get the mail, they talk about Upward. Ken points out that the practices and games are at his church, which is close to where they live, and that they have one practice and one game per week. Mike likes what he's hearing, but he's skeptical because of his view of the church. Later that week, Jennifer brings home a brochure from school promoting the Upward basketball league at Ken's church. Jennifer says several of her friends are playing, and she would really love to play there too. Mike still has his guard up, but he decides to give it a try. Mike goes to the church website and sees that he can register online, but he first decides to call the church to ask a few questions. The receptionist is friendly and helpful, and has the answers he needs to his questions. He decides to go ahead and register online to save time, and appreciates that the church is keeping up with technology he enjoys and is familiar with. Mike is greeted at the door when they arrive at evaluations by a friendly and helpful lady. He and Jennifer are given clear instructions on what to do next, and they feel welcomed. Jennifer is measured for her height and tries on sample jerseys and shorts to make sure her uniform will fit just right. The league director tells Mike about the schedule of the league and that they'll be teaching the children virtues based on biblical truths. Mike is not excited about that part, but everything else seems so organized, and Jennifer is so excited. It seems worth the risk. Along the way, Jennifer is encouraged through the evaluation process, and coaches cheer her on as she completes the drills. They finish up and are told that their coach will be in contact with them in the next couple of weeks. Mike thinks this doesn't feel like a win-at-all-costs sort of league. Jennifer is a little nervous. Jennifer's coach welcomes her and introduces herself to Mike. He makes sure the coach knows that Jennifer has never played organized basketball before. The coach assures them both that they have come to the right place to have fun and learn basketball at the same time. As Mike watches practice, he notices the coach is prepared and takes time to teach each player, regardless of her skill level. She seems to be very patient when the players don't seem to understand a drill. Mike is still guarded, but he's beginning to think this was a good idea. At the end of their first practice, the coach pulled the girls and parents together and began to hand out each of their player boxes. Jennifer quickly opens hers to find her very own uniform and several other cool things. "Dad, I'm number 12, she showed him. He couldn't help but smile at her excitement. At the second practice, Mike did get a little uncomfortable when the coach sat the girls down in the middle of practice to talk to them. Here's the virtue Bible thing, Kat, she thought. But the coach invited Mike to sit in on the team huddle to hear what was said. She taught the girls about determination. Determination is deciding it's worth it to finish what you've started, the coach explained. She had the girls do an activity where they would match up some things that required hard work with the reward that the hard work brings. Mike wasn't at all offended by what he heard, but he did wonder what in the world was supposed to give him determination, as he tries to give Jennifer answers to all of her questions. He didn't get the whole thing being tied to the Bible and running a race, but he was glad his daughter was learning about finishing what she starts. Game day was Jennifer's favorite part of Upward basketball. It made her feel like a big-time basketball player. She loved hearing her name announced and running through the tunnel before each game. Mike loved it too, because it made Jennifer feel so special. He thought it was a nice touch that each player was recognized after each game for something they did well. Jennifer got to play as much as anyone on the team. She was improving every week, and she loved going out to eat after the games when they could. Tim, the dad of another girl on Jennifer's team, would often invite them to lunch following the games. Jennifer was becoming good friends with Tim's daughter Amber, but Mike also found himself enjoying the talks he and Tim would have. Recently, Mike and Tim had a good talk about one of the halftime activities they saw at a game. The speaker had two people blindfolded, trying to shoot the ball into the goal, while listening to someone giving them instructions on how to do it. It was funny and chaotic at the same time. When one of them finally made it, the speaker made the point that it was a bit like life. Many of us feel blindfolded and have no one to help us know what to do next. Mike could relate. The speaker pointed out that this was one of the main benefits of their church. People could gather together and lean on one another to work through this journey called life. No one had to do it all alone. Jennifer was sad that the season was ending, but the awards celebration sounded fun. Jennifer's aunt, uncle, and grandparents were coming to see the celebration too. The night was fun indeed. High energy, some cool entertainment, and Jennifer got a great new backpack for school as an award. The speaker also got Mike's attention, as he told them that he was part of a big story that involved something much bigger than he could imagine. Mike was having a feeling that there must be more to this life than what he was experiencing. Finding the strength on his own for the determination the coach had talked about was getting more and more difficult. He and Jennifer would definitely watch the DVD they were given. As Jennifer and Mike watched the Big Story DVD, Mike thought if this story was true, God was someone who had shown real determination in sending his son to save the world, and now seemed determined to reach out to him. Both Mike and Jennifer thought back to the relationships they had made during the season. They felt welcomed, and oddly at home. They both had a lot of questions, but they now knew where to look for the answers.